Sports Entertainment is recorded live at twitch.tv/baldyandthebeast. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and watch the matches right along with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Braun.
I'm Willem.
And we are Baldy and the Beast. Welcome. Can't get that image out of my head.
Sorry, I was just explaining to Braun the first 2 seconds of Swiss Army Man, which if you haven't seen it, it's the greatest movie of all fucking time.
I want to see it now.
We're doing a show. Get on to the show.
We are Baldy and the Beast. I want to watch that movie. Let's review that shit. Welcome back to another episode of Sports Entertained. Willem, what are we doing today?
Today we're watching Charlotte versus Becky Lynch from Evolution 2018. The only time they ever did this pay-per-view, and this is a last woman standing match.
Yeah. So this took place in the Nassau Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. There were 10,900 people there, and this story is honestly pretty. I remember it pretty clearly because this was the big turn for Becky.
Yep.
That really shot her into top of the card, biggest star in the company, maybe regardless of gender.
Oh yeah.
I think the argument is definitely there, and I'm a huge Becky mark, so let's go. I'll be on that side if she's probably the most over person in the company and has been for a while.
Yeah, I'd go as far to say that she's as close to a Stone Cold-esque character that we've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
So how this all started was at SummerSlam, Charlotte beat Becky and the reigning champ Carmella in a triple threat to pick up her second SmackDown women's title.
Mm-hmm.
So she did that by pinning Becky, and after the match, Becky turned heel on Charlotte by attacking her. So then the next pay-per-view at Hell in a Cell, Becky won the belt from Charlotte. I think this was the point where maybe WWE realized that they had a little something on their hands.
They had a gold nugget in their hands. Little did they know in 2 or 3 months that gold nugget was going to go to the moon.
Yep. So they thought it was like an iceberg. They thought they had a little bit, and then below the surface was so much.
Yep.
But anyways, there was a rematch from there at Super Showdown where Flair won the match, but it was by disqualification because Becky hit her with the title. So Becky still retained. They kind of did a schmaz finish again when they had or a dusty finish, not a schmaz finish.
Finish.
They had a dusty finish again when they had a double count out. So Becky retained again, which just put somebody, don't have the match or put somebody over.
Right.
Do it once, okay.
It's just WWE's booking. It's how they do their shit for some fucking reason. They for whatever reason think that it's it's absolutely necessary that if there's not going to be a winner, they need to have some sort of cheesy thing to make it so that both people look strong when not everybody needs to look strong all the time.
No, and it ends up doing the opposite. If it doesn't make everybody look strong, it makes nobody look strong.
Exactly.
So, it's the exact, they're doing the exact opposite of what they think they are. But anyways, so after Becky retained again, shortly thereafter, Paige came out, who was the SmackDown GM at the time, and announced that they would have the first ever last woman standing match at Evolution. And so that was kind of the story. It was kind of they're really being portrayed as equals here to the point that nobody can even get a victory over the other. So
yeah.
That's how we got to this point. I really wish they had done more of these Evolution type pay-per-views because they do really have the best women's roster in the world.
Oh yeah.
And it's deep enough that they could do a women's only pay-per-view and really use it to solidify, not to be a business person about it, but solidify the female market, which does exist. So
in kind of the entire reason why Evolution came about in the first place is kind of tainted anyways, because part of the reason why they did it in the first place is because they had to be left off of Super Showdown, which was done in Saudi Arabia. So I think there was maybe one women's match on that, and it was Natalya versus somebody. I can't quite remember. I think there was a women's match on that, but because of the fact that it left all of the other women off of the pay-per-view for the year and out of that payday, they had to kind of make it up to them in one way, shape, or form. And it turned into a really good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And a really, really, really good showcase for what the women's roster was in 2018. So I understand why they haven't done one. It's because they haven't they haven't had the need to make it up to the women for some.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, they should just have it be a thing. In the same way
Yeah.
that they should have the Mae Young Classic be a thing. In the same way they should have the Cruiserweight Classic being a thing. In the same way that the UK like all of these things that they
More
brought in
tournaments.
for, all of these things that they brought in for like one-off things, they should just have them be more things. But in particular, Evolution, like I feel like you said, the women's roster is deep enough that they could have a yearly women's pay-per-view.
Oh, easily. And have different matches, because if you think about, like, if you include NXT in on this,
Oh yeah.
you brand it as the one night a year NXT people can go up against Raw and SmackDown people, dude, you're asking to print money. Put Rhea Ripley up against Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bayley, Asuka, Jesus, anybody.
Well, I think the reports at the moment are that Rhea is supposed to be debuted on the main roster. Like her Rumble match entry was her official debut on main.
Cool. I hope she gets a push.
So we'll Rhea, at least according to what I've seen, is now officially on the main roster. She hasn't showed up yet. Apparently she may show up this Friday on SmackDown. Who really knows? Vince could call her up and then be like, you know what? Not today.
Yeah, like you did with Sanity.
Yep.
Called him up and never did anything. I hope not, because Rhea has endless talent, and they really should have booked her over Charlotte last year. I mean, that was one of those things. It would have solidified her as, like, you know, a top person in the whole company, let alone NXT.
Yep.
But enough of my armchair booking. Do you want to go ahead and go down the old card?
Let's go ahead and run down the card.
All right. Let me not forget to bring up the wiki. Not stalling for time. It's not what I'm doing. Anyways.
Definitely not stalling for time.
Speaking of Rhea Ripley, she actually was part of the dark match on this card in the singles match for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley was...
I completely forgot that at this time she was just kind of relegated to NXT UK. She hadn't debuted in... Well, she debuted, but she wasn't part of the US NXT Women's roster.
She defeated Dakota Kai on this night for that title in the dark match, which that sounds like a good dark match in all honesty.
Yeah.
The pay-per-view opened up proper with Trish Stratus and Lita defeating Mickie James and Alicia Fox. I remember watching that and remember Trish Stratus and Lita, they still had it, which we know from the Rumble the other week.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have a 20-women battle royal for the women's title, or for a women's championship match, which Nia Jax won by last eliminating Ember Moon. Toni Storm defeated Io Shirai in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. Next up on the match, we had a 6-woman tag team match with Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya defeating the Riot Squad. That seems like... Never mind.
It seems like filler.
Yeah. I was trying not to be rude.
Aside from Bayley and Sasha, there's a lot of talent in there, but the way that it was booked in 2018, like, the Riot Squad was firmly filler territory. Same thing with Natalya.
Which sucks, because I really like Ruby Riott.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, next up we have the singles match for the NXT Women's Championship, where Shayna Baszler defeated Kairi Sane. And then our match, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match for the SmackDown Women's title. And the show closer was Ronda Rousey defeating Nikki Bella by submission.
Why am I not surprised at that? That they bring Nikki Bella back for a thing and she's in the main event of the thing.
That last match went 14 minutes.
That match on paper, that match should go 4 minutes.
Yep. That match went longer than Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane. It went longer than every other match except for the Battle Royal and the Becky Lynch Charlotte match.
Yeah. I gotta say though, like I remember the Kairi Shayna feud that they had going on for a while. That was a great fucking feud, dude.
Yeah.
There were a lot of great matches in there.
I mean, it's got Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler in it, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're both very, very good at the graps.
Yep.
But now that we got that out of the way, do you have anything to say before we go ahead and get into this pay-per-view?
No, I think we can go ahead and get into the card, or we can go ahead and get into the match. Sorry. If you are looking for this match on the network, it is the second from the last flag in the timeline. On the pay-per-view itself, this match starts at 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 48 seconds. Gonna go ahead and give everybody a little bit of time to go ahead and find it on there. I remember, so I had kind of skipped this pay-per-view because I didn't, at the time, like, I was less watching a lot of stuff. I wasn't really watching a lot of the WWE pay-per-views. I was just kind of, I was watching a lot of NXT stuff, but I wasn't really watching a lot of the WWE stuff. So I kind of had written this pay-per-view off as something I didn't feel like seeing, and then I heard that this match was great, so I'm excited to see this.
I remember watching this pay-per-view after the fact specifically for this match.
Yeah. So once again, this match starts at 2 hours, 11 minutes, 48 seconds. Good to go ahead and count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. Becky got Charlotte. She's got a power bomber through the table.
That table is glowing like it's angelic.
Oh my god.
Oh.
God, fuck that.
Charlotte took some bumps today.
Charlotte just took the biggest bump. Took a huge powerbomb from the top turnbuckle through a table onto the outside to the floor. That looked like there was like no padding on that one. That table fucking crumbled underneath her.
Yeah, that did not. She is still obviously in a lot of pain.
Yep. Charlotte is barely able to get up.
She's getting up, though.
She's trying so hard.
Becky looks so distraught.
Yep. She's trying. Oh, that's it. That is it. Charlotte can't quite make her way to the feet.
Where Charlotte kind of is like almost up but falls down.
Yep. She almost makes it to her feet and then falls down at the last second. Becky Lynch is your winner, retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Woo!
Great fucking match. What are you giving that out of 5?
4 1/4 star.
I'm gonna have to side with old Davey Meltzer on this one. I'm gonna give this one 4 3/4. This was a great match.
You're a Mark.
I know. Fuck you.
I'm just being a stereotypical internet asshole. I think it was pretty good. But what is your hot tagline?
Shit.
See, it's hard to be the first motherfucker that goes, ain't it?
Yeah, but Becky's the next Stone Cold.
I was gonna go with she's the man.
Well, yeah, she wasn't yet though.
She's about to be. She's about to be the man.
She's about to
almost
be
the man.
That's 6 words. You can't do that.
She's almost the man. That's 4.
There you go.
Argue over the amount of words. I changed.
You changed it. You fixed it. It's fine.
See, did the right person go over? Probably for the long term.
Oh yeah, for the long term of this. Like, I feel like Charlotte had a lot of wins at this point. She was like very much a multiple time women's champion, and keeping that belt on Becky after the win, after the heel turn that she had to get it off of Charlotte, that it just feels a lot better having Becky keep the belt at this point.
Yeah, and we have the power of hindsight of seeing like where this goes, and it's definitely a good thing she kept the belt.
Oh yeah, like if this hadn't gone the way that it did, we probably wouldn't have the man. You wouldn't have that shirt that you're wearing right there. Because
she wouldn't have been in position to get punched by Nia Jax.
Yep, probably. She wouldn't have gotten punched by Nia Jax. We wouldn't have had that beautiful shirt with the broken nose and the blood dripping down her face. Oh.
Yep.
So good. Anyway.
But yeah, this is a really good match, and honestly, one of a pretty good storyline.
Yep.
Had some hiccups in it, but overall, it was done well for the company.
Yep.
Let's see. Do you have anything you want to say about the match at all?
No, I thought it was a fantastic match. I really liked the finish, the way that the match ended up. If you weren't watching along with us live at twitch.tv/baldyandthebeast, you can. The way that the match kind of finished up was, Charlotte had set up a table on the outside. Becky was set up on it, prone to take a moonsault off, like from Charlotte off the top rope onto the table on the outside. Becky got up off the table and gave her a huge power bomb from the top turnbuckle through the table on the outside, and Charlotte just couldn't quite get up. She was trying her damnedest to get to her feet.
Yeah.
She almost got there and just fell down right at 10.
She was really close.
She was really close, and that's kind of like one of the best ways that you can finish off a last man standing.
Yeah.
If you want to make both people look strong in the end. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to say?
There's a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah. So this Sunday we are going to be streaming, even though it's Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, Katie. We are going to be streaming.
Yeah, sorry, Cam.
Yeah. NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, which is a weird name for a pay-per-view. I guess it's supposed to be like a play on Valentine's Day, and they're trying to combine Vengeance and Judgment Day, but like, it's just weird. It's a little weird.
Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah, for real. Like, you got that trademark.
Like, I know it's not the best trademark, but it's better than Vengeance Day.
Yeah.
Or just call it Vengeance.
Yeah. What time does the pay-per-view start? Because I feel like NXT ones start at different times than the main roster ones.
I would think 7. But okay. Let me hit up the Google machine real quick.
My kitty cat came to say hi, and then she hid under the table.
It says 7.
7? Okay. So we will be here this Sunday at 7 o'clock to watch NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day with anybody who wants to come hang out with us in the chat.
Would we watch the pre-show or probably not? Are we still skipping that?
Skipping the pre-show. Like I don't get enough sleep as it is, and I don't need to fall asleep on stream.
Yeah. I do like that they already have MSK in the.
Oh yeah.
They're already pretty big in the scene.
Yep.
So I think that's cool. Did you want to run down the card? We do have a couple minutes.
Yeah, go ahead and run that shit down.
All right. It looks like we have for the NXT Women's title, there will be Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez.
Ooh.
Did you just want to do predictions now, or do you want to wait?
Fuck it, we'll do it on the fly. I haven't watched any NXT in a very long time, so I have no idea how the booking has gone. I know that Io still the champion, or is Toni the champion?
Io.
I think Toni's winning.
Io
has been the champion for a very long time.
Io has been, and it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking they're giving it to Toni.
I think she's holding on to it till Mania.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Io. How many confidence points you doing? Or we're gonna do that later.
We can do that later. We can figure.
We'll do the confidence points later. We'll just do our predictions now.
Yeah.
Next up on this thing, it's in a weird order. So we have for the NXT Championship, Finn Balor versus Peter Dunne.
Finn's retaining.
Yeah, Finn's winning this one. There's talk that NXT title might be on Mania, and if that happens, it needs to be Finn.
Yep.
Next up for the North American title, Johnny Gargano, Kushida.
Ooh,
I'm going Kushida.
I'm going Kushida.
Kushida, I love Kushida. Kushida is so good.
They need to, like, they've had Kushida in the company for 2 years. They need to give him something.
Yeah, for too damn long for him to, yeah. He should have already been, like, champ. Next up, like I kind of mentioned earlier, we do have MSK They will be facing the Grizzled Young Veterans in the Dusty Memorial Men's. That'll be a good one.
Grizzled Young Veterans is who?
Uh,
I'm imagining Tyler Bate.
Hold on. No, Tyler Bates must have around.
Well, yeah, but I feel like he's in the same, like, a very similar faction.
The Grizzled Young Veterans. James Drake and Zach Gibson.
Okay. MSK is winning.
Yeah, I'm picking MSK as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the final of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Amber Moon and Shotzi versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Who you got?
Amber Shotzi.
I'm going Amber Shotzi too.
Not a lot of discourse in these choices.
Fuck it. I'll go the other way then. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I'm just thinking they like to put over mismatched tag teams.
Right.
If I lose the predictions on that, I'm going to be super shitty. If that's what I lose on, I'm going to be not happy. But anyways, those are the only matches that are announced thus far for the card.
Okay.
And that's a 5-match card, which is pretty standard for takeovers.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for takeovers.
So I would assume there's not going to be anything added. But you never know. We'll see. And if there's anything, we'll call it on the fly for 3 points.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else to add before we fade to black?
No. Well, what are we doing? So this is the 3rd week of February. Our final 2 matches for February are going to be recorded next week. So what do you want to just reveal what the last 2 matches are?
Yeah, that was my plan. The last 2 matches we have are Becky and Sasha at NXT Unstoppable.
Okay.
And Asuka Charlotte at WrestleMania 34.
Ooh.
I vote we save Asuka Charlotte for last.
Yeah.
Let's do Becky Sasha NXT Unstoppable next Thursday. And next Tuesday. And then next Thursday we'll do Asuka and Charlotte. That should be a good week of Baldy and the Beast programming.
Yes. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for coming out and checking us out tonight. If you haven't already, go ahead and check us out in the description below at the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube, all the places that we are at. Give us a like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. We greatly appreciate it. If you do not feel like looking at our beautiful faces, go ahead and check us out on the audio-only podcast over at Spotify or Anchor, or any of the places that we're at. Once again, all of that is in the description down below. We will see you this Sunday for our NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day watch-along. We will see you there. We hope to see you there because it's going to be a good show. NXT tends to put on great freaking shows.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you all for coming out and checking us out today. We will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.